Has Donald Trump's influence over Europe finally begun to fade? In 2025, several European countries are shifting their stance on the former US president, and some are even turning against him. But why? Stay tuned to find out the 10 European countries that are distancing themselves from Trump, and what it means for global politics in the years ahead. Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we'll be diving into a fascinating topic: the European countries that are turning against Donald Trump in 2025. Now, you might wonder, what does it mean for a country to turn against a former US president? Well, we're going to explore the political shifts, changes in public opinion, and how each country's relationship with Trump has evolved over time. Number 10. Sweden, known for its progressive policies on social welfare, gender equality, and environmental protection, has long been critical of Trump's divisive leadership style. By 2025, the Scandinavian country has become one of the most vocal critics of Trump in Europe. Under Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson, Sweden's foreign policy has shifted dramatically toward multilateralism and cooperation with the European Union. Trump's policies, particularly his stance on climate change and immigration, have put Sweden at odds with the US. Sweden's commitment to the Paris Agreement and its reputation as a global leader in human rights make it nearly impossible for the country to align with Trump's policies. The Swedish government has increasingly distanced itself from Trump, focusing on global issues that promote equality and sustainability. Public opinion in Sweden reflects widespread disapproval of Trump's approach to international relations, with many viewing his leadership as a threat to global peace and stability. Sweden has also been outspoken in its support for the European Union, advocating for unity and collaboration to address global challenges. As Sweden prioritizes domestic issues like social welfare, healthcare, and climate action, Trump's rhetoric is seen as a distraction that undermines these goals. In 2025, Sweden has made it clear that it will not support Trump's vision of a fragmented and divided world. The Swedish public's growing disillusionment with Trump's policies signals a new era of leadership in Sweden, one that emphasizes inclusivity and global cooperation. Number 9. Finland, known for its strong commitment to social welfare, education, and environmental sustainability, has consistently shown skepticism toward Donald Trump's policies. By 2025, Finland's government, led by Prime Minister Sanna Marin, has shifted further away from Trump's influence. Finland has always valued its relationship with both the European Union and the United States, but Trump's approach to foreign policy has created increasing tensions. Finland's progressive policies on climate change, social justice, and global cooperation now stand in direct opposition to Trump's isolationist rhetoric. Finland's commitment to human rights and democracy makes it unlikely to align with Trump's populist agenda. Public opinion in Finland has grown increasingly critical of Trump's leadership, with many Finnish citizens viewing his actions as detrimental to global peace and stability. As Finland looks to the future, it is focusing on strengthening its ties with European partners and promoting international collaboration. Finland's leadership in areas like climate action and social welfare is helping to define its role in the world, and Trump's policies are seen as a hindrance to that progress. By 2025, Finland's government has made it clear that it will continue to oppose Trump's divisive rhetoric and policies. With a focus on inclusivity, sustainability, and global cooperation, Finland is looking toward a future where Trump's influence no longer plays a role. Finland's growing influence in the EU is a reflection of its commitment to a better, more inclusive world, and it will not be swayed by Trump's vision of isolation. Number 8. Norway, like its Scandinavian neighbors, has long been critical of Donald Trump's policies, especially his stance on climate change, human rights, and international cooperation. By 2025, Norway's government, led by Prime Minister Jonas Gahr Støre, has firmly distanced itself from Trump's vision for the world. Norway's commitment to environmental sustainability and global cooperation has placed it at odds with Trump's isolationist and protectionist policies. The country's position on climate change, which includes strong support for the Paris Agreement, stands in stark contrast to Trump's withdrawal from the accord. Norway has consistently advocated for progressive climate policies, including carbon reduction and renewable energy investments, which are at odds with Trump's environmental agenda. The Norwegian public has shown increasing discontent with Trump's approach to global governance, particularly his disregard for multilateral institutions like the United Nations. As a nation with a strong tradition of peace-building and diplomacy, Norway sees Trump's leadership as a threat to international stability. In 2025, Norway's government is doubling down on its commitment to global cooperation and climate action, and it has little room for Trump's divisive rhetoric. Public opinion reflects a strong desire to move away from Trump's policies, particularly as Norway seeks to strengthen its role in European and global affairs. With Norway's progressive values leading the way, it's clear that the country will continue to oppose Trump's vision for the future. In the years ahead, Norway will prioritize diplomacy, environmental sustainability, and human rights, steering clear of the divisive influence of the former US president. Number 7. Italy's political landscape has shifted significantly in recent years, particularly with the rise of Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni. Initially, Meloni's government found common ground with Trump's populist agenda, but as of 2025, Italy's stance has changed. While Meloni still holds certain views in common with Trump, Italy has begun to distance itself from Trump's isolationist policies. Italy's focus has increasingly shifted towards strengthening its relationship with the European Union and addressing the economic challenges posed by the post-Brexit era. Meloni's government is now prioritizing domestic policies that focus on social welfare and economic stability, which often clash with Trump's protectionist stance. As Italy moves closer to a more progressive Europe, the influence of Trump's vision has waned. Public opinion in Italy, particularly in urban areas, has grown more critical of Trump's approach to international trade and climate change. Meloni's shift towards a more Europe-centric outlook means that Italy is less likely to follow Trump's path of divisiveness and conflict. Italy's political pivot is a direct response to the economic and social issues it faces, and Trump's leadership style no longer aligns with the country's needs. Italy is now focused on fostering cooperation with its European neighbors and beyond, distancing itself from the nationalist rhetoric championed by Trump. While Meloni still holds some populist views, Italy's foreign policy in 2025 is firmly looking away from Trump's influence. Italy's role in Europe will continue to evolve, and Trump's vision of America First no longer fits into its strategic goals. Number 6. Spain's relationship with Donald Trump has been somewhat neutral in the past, but as of 2025, the country is moving away from his policies. Under the leadership of Pedro Sánchez, Spain has become increasingly vocal in its opposition to Trump's stance on immigration and climate change. Spain's strategic position in Europe and its long history of diplomatic relations with both Europe and the US has shaped its foreign policy, but 2025 marks a shift in Spain's priorities. Sánchez has been a strong advocate for climate action and human rights, both of which are at odds with Trump's controversial policies. As Spain continues to address the complex issue of migration, Trump's harsh rhetoric on immigration is now seen as a significant obstacle to Spain's international image. Spain's growing influence in the EU has made it more resistant to Trump's influence, as the country seeks to collaborate with European partners on shared challenges. Public opinion in Spain reflects growing frustration with Trump, particularly his stance on climate change and his disregard for global cooperation. Spain, with its progressive leadership, is looking to forge a future where Trump's divisive policies have no place. Spain's response to Trump's policies is now shaping its role in Europe, as the country works to strengthen its ties with neighboring nations. The Spanish people are rallying around a more inclusive vision of Europe, one that values cooperation over isolation. Sánchez's government is determined to break away from Trump's influence and instead focus on Europe's unity and sustainability. By 2025, Spain is becoming one of the most vocal European critics of Trump's approach to global politics. Spain's future looks brighter as it moves away from the shadow of Trump's leadership. Number 5. The United Kingdom's relationship with Donald Trump has fluctuated over the years, especially when it comes to Brexit. Initially, Trump offered support for Brexit, seeing it as a win for his own America First policies. However, as the reality of Brexit began to unfold, the UK found itself in uncharted waters, and so did its relationship with Trump. By 2025, the UK government, under Prime Minister Keir Starmer, has moved away from Trump's influence. The fallout from Brexit, particularly the economic and political consequences, has left many in the UK re-evaluating the support they once had for Trump. Starmer's pro-European stance, advocating for closer ties with the EU, directly contradicts Trump's preference for isolationism. The UK, while still an important ally to the US, is now focusing on repairing relations with Europe and strengthening trade ties within the EU. Public opinion in the UK has shifted, with many now viewing Trump's policies as damaging to both the US and the UK's global standing. While some in the UK still admire Trump's populist appeal, the majority are growing disillusioned with his divisive rhetoric. The economic uncertainty caused by Brexit has only made it clearer that the UK needs stable, cooperative international relationships, something Trump failed to offer. With the EU being the UK's largest trading partner, the government is focusing more on Brussels than Washington. The UK's exit from the EU and Trump's handling of international relations have led to a reconsideration of British priorities in the 2025 political landscape. The UK is looking to establish a new era of diplomacy, one that moves away from Trump's influence and focuses on stability. Number 4. France has always had a complex relationship with Donald Trump, often caught between maintaining a strong partnership with the US while remaining true to its European values. President Emmanuel Macron initially sought to work with Trump, but tensions escalated over time, particularly on issues like climate change and global health. In 2025, Macron's administration has completely shifted gears. Macron's vision for France's future heavily contrasts with Trump's America First agenda, especially in the realm of international cooperation. As France continues to take a strong stance on climate action, Trump's decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement remains a major sore point. Macron has increasingly criticized Trump's populist rhetoric, with France advocating for multilateralism and international agreements that Trump rejected. French media and politicians alike are now rallying against Trump's vision, aligning more with global leadership that emphasizes unity over division. Public opinion in France has become more openly critical of Trump, especially as they face the impacts of his administration's policies on global stability. Macron's success in recent EU negotiations has only further distanced France from Trump's approach. For France, Trump's isolationism is seen as a direct threat to their global influence and the European Union's stability. France is taking a stronger, more independent position on the world stage, one that is firmly at odds with Trump's tactics. As 2025 progresses, the French people are choosing collaboration over Trump's confrontational style. In the future, France will continue to stand against his divisive policies. Number 3. Germany has long been an important player in the European Union, and its relationship with Donald Trump has always been a bit tense. Under Chancellor Angela Merkel, Germany was forced to balance cooperation with the US while subtly criticizing Trump's stance on climate change and NATO. However, in 2025, Germany's political shift has been noticeable. As the Green Party gains momentum, their commitment to environmental policies directly clashes with Trump's dismissal of climate science. Chancellor Olaf Scholz, who succeeded Merkel, now leads a government that is less willing to accommodate Trump's isolationist policies. Public opinion in Germany is turning against the former president, with a growing belief that his approach has hurt transatlantic ties. The new leadership in Germany is committed to strengthening Europe's unity, something Trump's previous administration undermined. Germany's emphasis on multilateralism and cooperation now contrasts sharply with Trump's America First rhetoric. Germans are becoming more vocal in their disapproval, particularly as they see Trump's influence causing division within Europe. Recent public surveys reflect a significant drop in approval for Trump. With an election approaching in 2025, Germany's political landscape shows no signs of returning to the days of Trump's allyship. Germany's commitment to climate change and social issues makes it impossible for the country to continue supporting Trump's policies. Now, the German government is pushing for policies that resonate with its own values, not those of a former president. Number 2. The Netherlands has always been an advocate for international cooperation, human rights, and environmental sustainability. These values directly clash with Trump's approach, which has alienated many in the country. In 2025, the Dutch government, under Prime Minister Mark Rutte, has made it clear that it no longer supports Trump's vision for the world. While Trump's populism initially garnered some attention in the Netherlands, the Dutch public has largely rejected his isolationist policies. The Netherlands' commitment to the European Union, free trade, and climate action are all at odds with Trump's nationalist approach. The growing tensions over climate change, especially after Trump's decision to withdraw from the Paris Agreement, has made it harder for the Dutch government to align with his policies. Number 1. Denmark, known for its commitment to social democracy and environmental protection, has increasingly distanced itself from Donald Trump's policies. Denmark's progressive leadership, under Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, has made it clear that the country no longer supports Trump's isolationist approach to global issues. The Danish government has criticized Trump's stance on climate change, particularly his decision to withdraw the US from the Paris Agreement, a move that Denmark strongly opposed. In 2025, Denmark is pushing for stronger action on climate change, advocating for sustainability policies that directly conflict with Trump's environmental record. Public opinion in Denmark has turned increasingly against Trump, with many viewing his rhetoric as harmful to global cooperation and progress. That wraps up our list of the 10 European countries turning against Donald Trump in 2025. As we've seen, these countries are re-evaluating their relationships with a former president due to various factors, be it his policies on climate change, immigration, or global cooperation. What do you think? Are these shifts a sign of a broader global trend, or just temporary political changes? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.